Man, but this car performs very, very well, dude.
Yeah,
cool.
man, I'm happy, bro. It may look like, to others that, I bet you he feels like, no, man, I don't feel like whatever. This car, every day that I look at it, it's not a perfect car, it's not a show car, but I still stand next to it and in front of it, and I look at it, I'm like, man, I can't believe it. I have my own bomb, you know?
Mm-hmm. Hi everyone, welcome back to Automotive Anatomy. Today we have a returning guest, Mono. How are you, my friend?
What's up, man?
Thank you for making the time, dude.
It's too early.
This is yeah, because you're a night owl, but that's how it is. Well, thank you. I know that
at least the sun's
difficult.
not out, so
The sun's not out. It's a beautiful
but I'm
day.
wearing glasses.
There you go. So this is a weird looking Civic. Well, it's not a Civic. What are you driving today?
It's a hatch.
It's a oh, yeah. My bad. What are you driving today, man?
It's a 49 Chevy Deluxe.
49 Chevy Deluxe. Oh man, it's so nice, and to be able to see you be building it for the last, at least I kept up with it for like the last 2 years, and really a non-great condition in the sense of like you don't have a garage, you don't have concrete floor, you do it in dirt. To have something like this is pretty awesome, dude. So big props to you, just being that type of handy guy,
Thank you.
But before we talk about this beautiful car, when does the love for the old school lowrider type of cars begin for you?
Man, you know what? I didn't really. I liked it because they're bombs or whatever. They're lowriders.
Mm-hmm.
But I hated this one. Growing up, my dad would always take me to the shop, and I had friends, but I didn't really hang out with them because I was always with my dad working on these cars at the yard. So
he always had you kind of doing something.
Yeah, ever since I was out the womb, man, he had me there.
That's
when
cool.
I could say I remember when I was like what. I can't say I remember when I was 3 years old, but I recently came across a little build that we did, and he said I was like 3 years old, and I was in the booth with him. I don't know, wearing a mask or whatever, but he said I was there when we were spraying it. He said I was there, so I guess you could say since I was like 3 years old, I've been working on these cars.
It was the 90s. I don't know if safety was a concern back then.
Yeah. OSHA approved, dog.
Yeah. Questionable practices for sure.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So that's good because that means that you've always grew around this type of cars.
Yeah.
Which later on as we get into it, you really need to know what you're doing behind these cars because it's not as easy as changing.
It's not.
a core bumper. It's a little bit more meticulous.
Yeah, everything has a little play into it, man. Some of these cars, they look like, oh yeah, you could just bump shit on, but nah, everything has sometimes you gotta have original clips on there, and you just gotta make it work to make it fit right.
Gotcha. So as we progress, is this your first? What was your first kind of like?
This one is my first build alone. Obviously,
Okay.
my dad helped me, and a couple of his friends that are older, gave me a big hand. But for me, this is my first time doing one, on my own.
Wow.
So it's not perfect, but
but that's what we like. What we like,
Yeah.
It's a driver.
Yeah,
you drive it a lot
it's a
too.
driver. Yeah, I wish it would. I tried to make it look really nice, and try to bring back the old days with my dad. Dress it up like if it was back in the 90s or whatever. Because today, it's a whole different style. The cars are still bombs, but as the years pass by, people don't want to go too custom or too they want to keep it more original, kind of like the Civics. Back then they were customizing them and doing so and so to it, and now as they get older, everybody wants to go back to original. Like some people don't want to put visors or skirts or swamp cooler or little headlight visors, but I wanted to have that feeling again from when I was a kid, where I would see my dad rocking the stock caps and small tires. Mm-hmm. And as nice accessories to make it look nice or whatever.
No, it's funny you say that because to me, since I don't know much about them, to me the visors, the skirts, the cooler, I would think that that's just an OEM plus. It's not, to me, it's not doing too much. I mean, that's the way I grew up, having Hot Wheels, and some of them were bombs and
lowriders.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm more towards the 63 Impala, more because I'm more mainstream. I don't know much about it. You know more about details and things like this. So that's why you guys go more for this type of cars.
Yeah.
But nah, dude, I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I know that what I'm looking at is absolutely perfect and just gorgeous, man. So your background is Honda as well. So that there's so many choices out there. When you're looking for a car like this, what are the options, and how did you end up eventually making the last decision to go with this 49?
With this one, honestly, my favorite bomb has always been a 50 turtleback. So it's like this one, but you know, it's not a fleet line on the back. It's like more like a little lump in the back. It's a sedan. And then the 50 doesn't have that many teeth in the front grille. It's, you know, it's a straight, you know, just two little posts on the side. But it's similar to the car, you know. But, you know, my brother had it, and, you know, he wanted to get rid of it, but he didn't want to, you know, see it go somewhere else. And his, you know, when he found it, it was like kind of like a barnyard find or something.
Oh, sick.
Because it was restored, but, you know, they let it sit for a long time. So the paint got messed up, the chrome was all done, and it was missing a lot of parts. And he told me, he's like, hey, you want to buy it? I'll sell it to you for the price I got it for. And the car already has a few little things that I did to it. I didn't even think about it. You know, I just told him, yeah, I'll take it. But at the time, you know, I wasn't bonding like that to where I could just give him the full amount. So I gave him like, you know, half and half, and I took the car. I had fun with it. I dressed it up a little different from when he had it. And, you know, I enjoyed it as much as I could. The car was smoking like crazy. You ever seen Up in Smoke when the van, cuando sale con todo el pinche humo?
But it wasn't that type of smoke.
No, it wasn't that type of smoke. But, you know, I was having fun with it, bro. You know, I was riding dirty, no tags, no insurance. You know,
allegedly.
Next to cops. And they were seeing the car just smoke, and they would still give me a thumbs up. So, you know, I enjoyed the car as much as I could until I decided to take the motor out. And it's funny because the last time I drove it, I was going to a toy drive in Fontana, and on my way home, the car was smoking worse. You know, I told my lady, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it apart. It's time to get started on it.
When it bothered you, then you knew it was bad.
it was really bad, man. People leaving the car show, people were telling me, hey brother, you're smoking a lot, man. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's the motor's done. He's like, you good? I could call AAA. I'll help you out. And, nah, I want to drive it. Let me take the
It's
last
actually
cruise.
that smoky as much as it usually does.
Yeah. And then
that's when you realize, you're like, oh man, okay, it's time for me to.
Yeah. So when I brought it home the next day, my brother was there, you know, to help me pull the motor out and everything. As I was driving it, there was no brakes. So it was a big sign that's it, bro. Don't drive it no more. The brakes were shot. They were out.
Oh, that's scary.
And, you know, we pulled the motor out that day. And that same day that we're pulling out the motor, man, you know, I don't have cement. So I have dirt where I have to pick it up and push the car back. And the motors are heavy, bro, on these cars. So I had it like about up here. And, you know, I told him, you know, let's push the car back. And, you know, that way we'll just drop the motor. Somehow, you know, the motor was up here, and somehow just the jack just completely went this way, and the motor slapped my chest.
Oh shit.
And it almost fell on me, bro, like the whole block with transmission. And I just looked at it and I was like, that would have been it.
Wow, man.
So that was a scary memory.
I'm glad you're okay. But it goes back to that, like, you know, when you have to do things in the backyard, and you literally have dirt. You don't even have concrete.
No, I don't. I live in the farm, man.
That's man, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, no, everything's good, and the car finally looks
and performs well. Yeah, for sure. That's crazy. So that's how you came around this car. That's cool.
Yeah,
man.
I got it from my brother. It was missing a lot of stainless, a lot of, you know, other parts were damaged. And luckily for me, you know, like I said, I grew up with my dad working on these cars, so we always had a junkyard for these cars. Estaban a ver un chingo de pinches horses and shit.
So actually, funny story. This is the first time I've ever seen somebody drive manual on the tree.
Oh, you never seen that?
Like me experienced it right in front of me. I've seen videos and things like that, but not. It's cool.
The second gear right here. And there's the famous rapping.
You can only do that in second gear?
No, you can do it in every gear, but since we're in, like, you know, low gear or whatever, you hit second.
Okay. So what
sound,
is that?
That sound, fucking, I love it. That's why I like bombs, the pipes. And to do that, you gotta split the manifold, so it's not where you can just straight pipe. If you straight pipe it, nomás te va a tronar poquito, pero when you gotta split the manifold, so that's another, you know, thing that's custom on these cars.
It's cool that, you know, people mess with it, you know?
Eso también empezó, from what my dad was telling me, is that back in the day, nosotros, la raza mexicana, when they had these cars, no tenían dinero para meterlo un pinche, you know, V8 or, you know, parts where it could be like a hot rod to where the car is fast and it sounds loud.
Right.
So ellos lo que hacían es quebrar. He said que se quebró el manifold Y, you know, alguien dijo, oh, I gotta fix it later. Y dice, oh, you know what? Se oye suave esa madre. So what they did, they started splitting the manifold and they, you know, they added another pipe. So the car, you know, rebotaba en dos. Go for it. I don't know if it's true. It's just stories from my dad. You know.
We believe in that. We believe in that.
I wasn't born back then, so I can't tell you. Y yo empezó. Now they got headers, you know. Pero también antes había headers. You know, where you can put, like, you know, there's called Fenton headers, or there's that Hollywood header and all that. You know.
Okay.
They're vintage headers that, you know, you can find, or some people sell reproductions, but I love it the old school way where you split the manifold.
I like that.
It's kind of.
I never knew. I thought it was just because it's automatically straight piping. Yeah. It was to give you that rasp.
But let's keep it like that, Porque la policía no sabe. Leave that out.
That's funny. Man.
Yeah.
The whole car, it just takes you back. Like it's a whole different animal. You know?
Sometimes I wish I was in the passenger seat and my dad just drives it. Because that for sure will fucking, you know, take it back. But now, you know, I want to drive it. I'm the driver.
You build it. You build it, so, you know.
I let my dad borrow it once. And he was driving it like he stole it apart. Hey, slow down.
And bro, I'm the one who has to pay for it to fix it.
No.
Driving like he stole it. Like, that's the way it's supposed to drive.
Pero then he hits me with like, lo vas a arreglar. Y ahí me estás chingando, cabrón, que cómo le hago esto. Por eso, pues no lo madres. These high guards, this one, I think, let me see. It's this one. This high guard, I've had it since I was a little kid.
Okay, so it was just randomly.
It was hanging in the top of the, you know, over there in the back, and you know I hung it up, and I told my dad, you know what, it looks like it's expensive, so I hung it up. I was little, you know, I told him, you know,
little to your and now it is expensive.
Look, I'm using even the spotlights, bro, on the car. Those spotlights, we had a bunch, but a while ago, man, not a while ago, probably like 10 years ago. We've been here since 2012. We moved from LA out here. So I was in the back, you know, fixing everything and, you know, putting things where they belong, kind of like how we had the yard in LA. And I saw the spotlights in a crate, and I was like, you know, if I leave them outside, they're going to get messed up with the rain and all that, the dirt. So I put them in a crate and put them behind the car. And when I got this car, I was like, I think I have spotlights for this car. And I went to he's like, ahí vas otra vez to take my stuff. What do you want now? I mean, relax. I think I have spotlights for this car back there. He's like, no, que pinche spotlights. Deja esas madres ahí.
They're my spotlights.
So I waited, ya cuando se fue, y fui las agarré, y estaban todas, like, you know, they were punched, like, estaba el cromo, like, if it fell on something. And my homeboy, you know, he took them to a chrome shop for me in LA, and we restored them completely. They're 12 volt, they turn on and everything.
Wow.
So, you know, that's
so cool, dude.
That's another cool thing to have, you know.
Cool little story,
since I was a little kid.
Crazy how, like, the memory comes back, right? How you put it away.
That's why somehow, like, you know, I don't like, I'm a person that gets attached to the cars a lot. Like my Civic, that is my baby. I kind of didn't want to get attached to the car because I wanted, like, you know, fix it up, enjoy it, and then, you know, flip it or whatever. But somehow it has a big meaning to me because it has parts, you know, that I was from when I was a little kid. You know, I'm dressing it up and remembering the days that I had with my dad when I was a little kid, you know, and, you know, it's just a good, you know, car to have memories with, even though I just put it together, but I feel like I've had it since I was a little kid.
Yeah, dude, that's scary when you start romanticizing their. Yeah. But we know that they're not just cars; they're not just pieces of metal. They mean so much to us, man. And then now, you know, congratulations on being a father. Now you're creating new memories. Yeah, valio. You know, because now you're like.
Now if I sell it, she might get mad. Like, hey, Dad, why'd you sell the car?
Yeah, if you take a picture with your baby in front of it, valiste, bro. Because now the car has a stake, so when she's 20 or whatever, you know, that's cool. Yeah. But that's awesome. I mean, the beautiful thing about it is that you really enjoy, you know, working on cars, and so you can build something else down the road, but nothing like the first one, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at. So, well, let's start talking about it. First and foremost, the color. I know in the, I don't know if I'm calling it right, but I'm gonna call it lowrider scene, okay?
Yeah.
I know in the lowrider scene, I don't think it's as appropriate to ask people for, like, their color.
The color? No, hell no.
Just because, you know, there's that belief that, like, hey, you
they love it. They'll tell you, you know, how it even started or where the color came from or anything. I didn't want to go too customized on the color, so I made like a solid color. I didn't make it. It's actually from I think it's a Land Rover color. It's like a green. I can't remember. It's like I can't remember the name of the color, but it's from a Land Rover. It's a green.
What was that?
I have the code.
The spotlight, but doesn't remember the pink one.
Keswick green, así se llama. I can't say it.
I'm messing with you, mono.
Yeah, it's like a Keswick green.
All of a sudden, Alzheimer's mono comes out.
No, it's a new color from a new car. And the reason why I went with that is because it's solid. So there's no pearl in it.
I love
there's
that.
Nothing. It's a solid color like how they were back then.
Yes.
So, I wanted to have a nice set of color. It was going to be brighter, but my dad told me, he's like, hey, if you paint it brighter, the chrome is not going to pop out.
Ooh.
If it's darker, the chrome te va a resaltar, it's going to pop out. And I told him, yeah, you're right, but I want that color. He's like, it's up to you. And then I went back to this one. I was like, you know what, just let's do it this color.
Gotcha. And like just the time that it takes to just build something. There's no I can 100% say that because them dudes go and engrave everything, freaking rotors. Like, I mean, they don't drive the cars, but they just do so much.
Now they kind of mix it, because I see bombs like this, and you look at like the bumper cars, and they have engravings. Or remember the glass? I don't know if you've been around the cars at that time. They used to do on the glass, they used to engrave the glass. ¿Te acuerdas?
I've never seen that.
Yeah, they would do designs on the glass. Antes era ese estilo. I think Chich Marin had it on his Impala on the Up in Smoke. Atrás decía Love Machine on the glass.
I thought it was like a sticker.
No, it's like engraving. Parece sticker, pero lo hacían con like a tattoo machine. Le daban al glass.
Way.
So antes también ese estilo se usaba.
That's interesting.
See,
there's so much I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I'm putting it out there. I want that 63 just because I just love the body.
Know, that's one of my dream cars is a 63 rag. I love that. I like it from the movie.
Dude, I'm not even looking for the rag one. Just give me a 63, bro. That's like it's like a 59 rag. It's the most like
the
so hard to find.
There you go. Yeah, no, that car, back then, if you had an Impala back then, you were somebody. Now, if you have a rag, you're somebody. If you have a fucking, a hardtop 63, you're still cool. You're badass and everything. But if you have a rag, bro, it's like, fuck.
Yeah, on juice.
Yeah.
Okay. So the front end, I mean, have you, is this OE? I mean, have you updated anything?
It's all original.
Okay. And then obviously everything has been chrome plated?
Yeah, chrome. So this one I had to stock, because this one is also an accessory. I had to stock a hood ornament. And I got the deluxe one, so it comes with the little red pill and all that.
And then this cool little flag means what?
That flag se las ponían a los carros en el dealer, que yo me acuerde. Les ponían la flag kind of like to just sell used cars, so le ponían un okay.
I mean, so it was good to go.
Yeah, it's good to go, eh. It's nice.
It's like the pre-certified. Now you can
buy
luego
it. Abajito le ponían salvage, but it's good, eh.
Yes?
No, not that.
Okay. I was like, that'd be funny. And
then I got the little 76 ball, because when we used to go to the car shows, we would meet up with all my dad's friends, and we would always go. I don't know if you remember the 76 with the big ball on top, que daba vuelta. I don't know if it was just one place in LA that had it, but we all used to meet out there. Y yo pues bien dormido a la madrugada, y nomás miraba la ball just turn. And then I hear the price, and then everybody back then had one, so I went and got that.
That's cool. Like, it's cool memories, bro.
Yeah.
And now looking back, like, you see how cool like your dad was on just tagging you along, and maybe at the time you wanted to go play with your friends, and we understand, as kids.
Yeah.
But now as an adult, you're like,
I want to go back to it.
Right. I would never get that time back, and I think if you don't mind, let's check it out.
It's ugly. I don't even want to open the door because I don't have door panels. I'm still working on it.
Oh my God. Okay.
So
we won't AC. Right.
The only thing that's repop on the dash are the 3 little knobs. The one for the ignition to turn on, the lights and all that. And then those throttle cables over there, those 2 little ones. But everything else, all the knobs, they look, not the same color as the repop ones. They're a little more darker, a little more beige. So those are all the correct, colors for a 49. Gotcha. And then the steering wheel, it's a butterfly. I want the Deluxe, man, but that's a big, big baller steering wheel. The Deluxe is like probably like $3,000.
Jesus.
Yeah. One day, it's like my hatch, little by little, I'll source it out.
Now, did all these cars come with bench seats?
Yeah.
Okay, because
unless it's a 2-door, tiene se dobla, when you go in, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, it's between the bucket or the bench. I personally will always love bench.
Yeah, the bench
on a lot of different things, on trucks, on cars. I just love how wide it looks.
You can slide, si no abre la otra puerta, slide over.
But this car, something will break, so yeah. Man, I love it. And I know you're still working on the interior, we love it. The dash,
man.
Wow.
The upholstery is really expensive. I think the upholstery is the most expensive part on the car, other than the paint. But you could always find a painter to hook you up. The paint, everybody goes like, oh, you know, you pay for what you get or so and so. But out there, not everybody wants to mess with these cars because they're old. It'll come back and hunt you. As good as you can be as a body man or a painter, sometimes, you know, the cars don't have no, you know, they don't come back, no llegan cracks, because the paint lifts up if you don't do it right. And, you know, they come back, so the guys don't even want to deal with it. They're like, nah, you know, take it somewhere else. You know, they don't want to deal with it. So that you can find a good price for it. You know, it varies from like $6,000 to like, you know, 80 grand. So but the upholstery from the upholstery, man, right now they're up there like 10 to 15 grand, bro. You won't find nothing under 8 grand. If you want original upholstery, like, you know, as close as you can get to the original one, you gotta have, you know, good bucks. And it's not like I'm not balling like that where I could just, oh yeah, do it. I te van 8 grand, toma, you know.
Bro, you're not balling like that. The car looks like this, imagine. Wheel and tire setup, what do we have?
They're 515s BF Goodrich, and they're on stocks with the center caps.
What are they? What's the width on the actual wheel, the rim?
There's 5s.
Oh my god.
15 5s, creo que.
So these cars like to dance a little bit, right? When it starts
yeah, so when I'm driving, yeah, everybody hates these tires because they're a little rough on the road, but I can't complain. I love it.
They look. I mean, that goes with the look.
Yeah, it goes with the look.
Man, so fucking. Suspension. What have you done?
It's a completely stock suspension. It's just old school, like lowering, where you heat up the, you know, the rear leaf springs and the front shocks. You cut them. The front springs, I mean, not the shocks.
Now, is there companies that are making newish?
Yeah, they put a Mustang 2, or, you know, they do other suspensions. They put, you know, links in the back so you can slam it, they C-notch it or whatever. This one's not C-notch, it's just, you know, just lowered. Yeah, I want to C-notch it because I want to lay this car on the ground.
I mean, a bomb that is just on the ground or close to it, it's like, it almost looks like it's floating.
Man, it's bad. Yeah, some people put smaller. These tires look small to you. There's others way smaller ones that it looks like people, you know, now they like to see the car to where it might not even have tires. They're so like tiny. And
I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. But there goes, you know, to a whole different style. Cada quien tiene un diferente
right, which
estilo.
is good. Yeah, which is absolutely. Brakes, you mentioned they're still drums?
They're still drums. I'm still rolling on drums. I want to keep it that way, you know. Maybe later if I do a Mustang, you know, 2 in the front or something, but nah, I want to get that feeling still where you got to kind of pump it.
Gotcha.
But it brakes good, man. Everything in the back, I have a rear end from a Nova, so it's open drive now. The car can, like, you know, hit 60, 70 peacefully. So it's open drive now. So the rear, you know, it has drums, but it's a newer setup, you know. It's not a 49, you know, drum or whatever.
You're rolling on 70s Nova stuff?
Yeah. It's a 70s Nova rear end.
So that's cool because that's 30 years better upgrade or technology.
And then for the people, like, you know, that are looking at the video, and, you know, everybody always asking, like, hey, what rear end can you use? You know, this one's it's from a 74 Nova, so it's a little bit more wider, just like an inch or so. But it goes, I think it's from 72 to 73 Nova, or you could get a G-body rear end or those Toyotas, what is it, Nissan or Toyota rear end? Or you could get a S10 rear end, the all-wheel drive one.
And so you have to do some custom...
yeah, you got to get a drive shaft, and you got to cut the right measurements. And I had a hard time with the drive shaft because it was a little too short, it was a little too long. So where it connects to the transmission, since the car is dropped, every time, you know, the car bottomed out, it pushed the drive shaft and hit my transmission. You know, it'll punch it.
That's scary.
So yeah, it's not good. So I had to take it to get shortened. I had to measure from transmission to the U-joint and all that. Yeah, so it's, you know...
So it's not easy as just putting coilovers and putting T37s.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Jesus, okay.
First, up, middle, second, out, up, and then straight down is third.
Oh, from that? You just go straight down?
You want to see me hit reverse?
No. Not right now.
Yeah.
It's so cool, man. It's just... You know what's funny? The car, number one, it feels extremely comfortable.
Yeah, it's comfortable.
It feels so comfortable. Like everything, the road, it's taking the bumps,
so
everything.
The upholstery on this car was red. You can see it, todo pinche, my headline's all fucking gone. So the upholstery was done before it was red. And I guess, you know, the people, they were elderly people, so they wanted cushion, you know, so they did the seats a little poofy to where it's comfortable. I
like it.
So I like it, yeah. So when I do the upholstery, I'm going to try to do it as close as I can to original, but I want the seat to have a lot of cushion, you know, to where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and the car is a big car, but it doesn't feel that big. Like you showed me a picture of it. That's I think Continental, right? Or
Yeah,
Caddy.
the Cadillac.
That thing's a boat.
Oh yeah.
This one, like it doesn't like we're still.
Yeah, we're still close.
Yeah, it's not too big. I feel like the car is still like within the
Pues también
lane.
estamos gordos, ¿no?
No. The camera adds 20 pounds. It used to be 15, now it's at 20. Just my settings are all messed up. But the car itself, it feels like it's the perfect size, you know?
Yeah, it's the right size. I like it. But también, you know, the Cadillac is a big bowl, man. Ese carro, man, lo llevamos Santa Maria. We're everywhere in that Cadillac. You know what? That was my dad's dream car when he came, you know, from Mexico. He said that he wanted a 66 convertible.
What part is your dad from?
He's from Jalisco.
Oh, okay, so Guadalajara.
And my mom's from Durango. My mom don't care. I don't really talk much about my mom when it comes to the cars, because my mom didn't care about these cars.
Yeah.
When she met my dad, she probably did like it, like, you know, the cars and all that. But it's on this one, but not on the hatch, because she knows the hatch, I'll punch it. But she loves riding in this one.
Like this one, you can't go too fast.
Ay, no, mono, ¿te acuerdas cuando estabas chiquillo y tu papá le sonaba la sirena y te emocionabas? Y, ay, no, ahora sí ya le puedo pegar cuando yo quiera. But yeah, so my dad's Cadillac, it was his dream car. He didn't build that one. He the wagon that I showed you earlier, we put that one together, and he said that he seen that Cadillac, and he said a black guy had it, I believe. He went up to him and he told him that, you know, hey, nice car, you know, you want to sell it? He said, nah, I can't sell my baby, man, you know. And then, you know, he saw his wagon, he liked it, he liked the color, and somehow, somewhere, they made the deal to where they traded. And oh, my dad was happy.
So he can sell his baby.
Yeah, and he still has it, but the car, we took it apart because where we live, man, it was ghetto. You know, it was a bad area. So one time, you know, the cops were chasing after a guy, and they slammed him onto the car, and they bent the rear antennas, and they dent the quarter panel. You know, we didn't have garage, so he had to park it outside. So all the bombs and everything were outside in the street, and you know, they messed up his car. He was a little sad, but he said that he wanted to repaint it. He wanted to do it brown, to do red. And
has a guy repainted?
Yeah, you know, when a man gets too many projects, and you know, he has his head on one car, and the other one gets abandoned. Like, for example, me with my hatch. But that's my baby, man. He's cool where he's at, just sitting. I miss it, but you know, right now I can only focus on one. So that's what it was with him. So the car just, you know, se quedó. But ese carro, man, we hit Santa Maria, San Diego, all over LA, everywhere in that car, and it felt so smooth, man. You hit the bumps, and you feel like you're in a boat. Eh? You don't feel nothing. Se siente bien suavecito. Mira, ahí van los caballos. Yeah, ese carro, it's now, he gave it to my sister. My sister one day wants to restore it. Obviously, I'm probably gonna be the one helping her out. And there goes the horses. Check them out. Let's see if I can whistle at them. No, but yeah, he's always had a lot of cars. But I think my dad, to me, this car ain't nothing compared to the cars my dad and I put together before. You know, my dad has.
Well, why is that?
His cars were beautiful, man.
Okay.
And other cars I can't remember because I was too little, but he had a black and blue truck. It was a 40. It was a 40 Chevy truck. It was black and blue. It was really beautiful. But my dad's a businessman. He sells everything.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
so he built a lot of cars to make profit.
To make profit, to raise, you know, us as a family.
Mono, so once we talk about the engine compartment, you did this all by yourself, right?
Yeah.
But you got help.
I had help, yeah.
Okay. So tell me about, first and foremost, okay, what are we staring at when it comes to the engine?
Right now, it's running a 250. The first motor that I dropped in here was a 235. Well, it was already in there, but you know, I pulled it out to rebuild it and everything. But unfortunately, like, you know, my fuel pump got shaved down by the cam, and it's in shavings to my block, so there was that. I pulled it out, and I decided to drop a 250 in there to be a little more reliable, a little more, you know, gain more speed on it. You can still have the same speed with the 216 or 235 with the correct, you know, drive line and all that. But I just wanted to drop a 250 because it's newer. You could get, you know, parts for it everywhere. You go to O'Reilly's or whatever, and you know, you get anything for it.
Really?
Yeah, it's from a 60. If I'm not wrong, it was a 65 C10 that we took it out of. It was running. So, and it's funny, man. This motor had, where my dad's at, you know, we have chickens, horses, and everything. So the motor was sitting under a tree, full of horse poop and chicken poop, and man, it's funny. I'll send you a picture so you can see how it looked. It was all ugly, but you know, I told my homeboy Robert, the guy who did my wiring, you know, he's a good friend of mine. I took him the motor and I told him, hey, detail the motor for me, yeah, and help me drop it in the car, because you know I've never done a 250 swap on one of these bombs, so you know I don't know how to weld either. So I took it to him and he helped me drop it in and do the whole, you know, rear end conversion on it. So you know, that's how it looks now with the 250 in there. We dressed it up to make it look like it had a 235. So you know, when you pop the hood, people, if you look from a distance, it kind of looks like it still has that old school straight six from a, you know, the 40s. Yeah, but if you get closer, it's,
if you know, you know,
it's a 250. Yeah.
Radiator, what kind of radiator is this?
This is it's all brass. I just, you know, polish it right now. I didn't, you know, I was driving the car yesterday, so I didn't have time to make it a little more shinier.
I guess it's a driver.
It's and this is the original radiator from the car. You know,
wow.
They did a little tack weld because it was leaking up here and then over here where it goes to the overflow.
Well, that's the reason why, you know, those type of radiators are still here, because they're not made of plastic. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay. And then
that's the overflow over there, and then this is a oil bath, and then this is the wolf whistle. So if you ever hear me whistle with the car, it's coming from here. A lot of cars, it's called the wolf whistle. Again, this whistle, my dad's had it before I was even born, and he got mad too, because I said, hey, this one too, man, the siren. This is the you know, the ambulance siren firefighter truck.
I thought it was really popular
in trucks. Like alternator on. Double alternator right there.
Double alternator, yeah.
Yeah.
So the siren.
No, so yeah, this one he got a long time ago from one of his homeboys. He bought it and he chromed it out. And then the siren, he got it long time ago, bro. And you know, I took care of it and I kept it and I took it away from him.
That's funny.
So he says when he brings out a car, he's like, you better find yourself a siren and a whiff whistle, porque esos son míos.
Transmission
is a Saginaw from también creo que una 65.
The C10.
Yeah, nomás que yo my dad did it all brand new for me. He put, you know, cleaned it up and we slapped it on the car.
What are these, 3 or 4 speed?
This is a 3-speed.
3-speed?
4-speed because it has a reverse, but
okay, but 3-speed.
It's a 3-speed, yeah.
On the is automatic?
3 on the tree, yeah. No, it's 3-speed.
Manual?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, pa abajo, segunda, and tercera.
Ah, that's cool. Gotcha. Man, is there any future plans for the engine?
Yeah, my freaking all this little telaraña right here. Right now I'm running it because I've been having a little trouble with my fuse for the sound system. I used to run it straight to the starter, but right now I have it right here until I figure out the bugs. It was over here and it was, you know, getting loose on me, so it got a little warm, a little hot. So I'm gonna relocate these wires to where I only have 2 wires here.
Okay.
And
just clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, and then, you know, just little things. I don't want to do too much to it because I want to kind of make it look like it was original, like, you know, from back then. I painted these black because, you know, that's how they came with the inner fenders were black. The dash cover or whatever this is called, I forgot what it's called, was black. And, you know, it's like little stuff that weren't, you know, color matched to the car.
Wow, yeah, can't wait to go for a ride on this, man. This is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
it's fun, bro, for sure. It's not fast, but that when that second gear drops, man, you're just wrapping it.
This is like my cord.
I think that's why I got into Hondas, bro, because, you know, they're all straight pipes, so le pisabas and you let go y hacían shut that shit off.
Driving this car must be very nerve-wracking. I mean, at least the way I would feel, because
at first I felt like that, but ya cuando lo manejas de ratos, yeah, you get kind of used to it, you know. You look around, make sure everything, it's kind of like, you know, your Accord by Civic, you have a lip, so you know that you're low from the ground, so anywhere you go, you know how to, you know, curve it and go around or whatever. It's the same with this, you know.
I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned with the idiots that are on the road.
The drivers?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm concerned with.
That's why I put that baby on board topper in the back, man, porque they tailgate me. Some people don't care, man.
They don't care.
You may like the car. A lot of people, you know, non-car, you know, guys, ¿qué pedo? Vámonos. Non-car guys, you know, sometimes like the cars, but some people just don't care. Some people just see it like, oh, pinche carro, get it off the road, it's old, you know, it shouldn't be on the road. It's driving.
Yeah,
you know,
we don't kick it with those people.
Yeah, so those people are tailgating you, and you know
they don't see the value of a classic car.
And they fly by you, they cut you off. Even truckers, bro. Like, you know, shout out to the truckers out there, you know, getting our stuff. But some of you guys, man, I wish I could get you guys off the truck sometimes. Give you a nice little hug. Yeah, no, se pasan, you know, they pass by flying and they shake the car, you know. And that's why I put that topper back there, because at first, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm getting to where I have to get, and then they're in a hurry, they can go around me. So, but now that I have the baby, you know, it scares me. I'm always looking back, and that's why I put the topper back there, so they can know that I have a baby on board, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, I did it. It doesn't exist. It's not original. It's not a repop. I created it myself, because back then everybody put toppers on these cars, the license plates. So, you know, as a little accessory, I decided to make it a topper. You know, instead of putting a sticker on the windshield or, you know, whatever, I made it like a classic little topper.
Yeah, it came out great.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Hi, Mono. Thank you so much for sharing this story with not just this car, but just you growing up with your pops. I think it's super cool. I think it helps me kind of take some takeaways from that story and just create memories with my own kid, you know. I think it's awesome, and I'm sure you're gonna do that with your family since you already are doing that. So thanks for the time, man. Amazing car. It definitely hits different, we appreciate that, man.
It hits home.
It's yeah, for sure, man. It's way more sentimental than any T37 story, you know.
I'm gonna put some on there in the future. In the future, you're gonna see T37s on the bomb.
I swear, if you do that to this, burn the car. Any shout outs, man?
I want to give a shout out, you know, to all my homeboys that helped me out. Paul, who painted the car. My homeboy Robert and his dad, that, man, were a big help. Until this day, I call him, and you know, anything that I can't ask my dad, because me and my dad bump heads a lot. You know, we're always little arguments. I always call Robert, bug him. So shout out to him and his dad.
Robert's like, oh, you're mad at your dad, huh?
Otra vez. Calling me. Yeah. And then, you know, but a big shout out to my dad, man.
Yeah.
My dad is the man, you know. He's the man for everything. I'm standing right behind him.
I love that, dude. Yeah. I love that. Well, can't wait to see what comes next with this, man.
Hopefully on the next video, my dad's there. He's probably knocked out right now with the kids. But next time he'll probably be here and talk shit about me.
You mean the truth, son?
Yeah, the truth. Yo armé el pinche carro, él no le hizo nada.
Oh, I didn't know holding the flashlight was called building nowadays,
man, bro. It's a good thing I didn't tell you about that. Aquí, cabrón, aquí. ¿Dónde vas?
That's cool, man.
Well, man, here's a funny one. When I wore a hoodie, he never wanted me to have my hands in my pocket. He said, because I was being lazy. Pareces huevón, cabrón. ¿Tienes sueño? ¿Qué chingados? Cuando tienes frío, quiere decir que you're not working hard. So I had to hold the flashlight with both hands out. I couldn't be.
You know what's funny? Yeah,
my dad was like rough, man. But you know, now I can see. Now I can see without the flashlight. I know where every bolt's at. Oh, aquí le apuntaba. Yeah,
man. Well, you know, again, that's what it is. It's memories, and for the good and the bad. But now, you know, at the end of the day, family is family, and
family's family.
We enjoy the time, because time is limited, man. So
yeah.
Let's go for a ride, Mono.
Let's go. Vámonos.